All right, PlayStation just had a State of Play event, so let's talk about some video games. Not the craziest event by any means, not a bunch of like first-party studio bangers or anything like that. Smaller updates, some interesting things. This isn't going to be a play-by-play. I just kind of wanted to talk about some of the stuff I thought was cool. The rumors were kind of crazy for this State of Play leading up to it, but it ended up, landing a little bit soft. But the first thing I did find interesting was Tides of Annihilation. I don't know really anything about the studio or anything about this. I haven't heard a thing about this, but seeing it, there's a lot to it. It looks pretty insane from a character design standpoint, to the sense of scale, to the enemy designs and stuff like that. But it's interesting that the trailer was almost divided into two parts, right? The first part looked very just action adventure-y, a lot of platforming, a lot of exploration and stuff like that. And then the second aspect of it, like the second part, just looked like balls out crazy combat. I'm curious to see where this goes because it's like there's like a fantasy world, but then there's also some real world stuff. We saw like London heavily featured in here, so I don't really know what they're doing with this one, but it does look very over the top. And the combat we saw here, it looks like it's probably going to be hard. This is like definitely a theme of this State of Play. But another thing I was very happy to see, dude, is Days Gone Remastered. This is just nice. If you've played it on Steam with the graphics cranked up, that's probably well enough and good. But if you only have a PlayStation, this is dropping on April 25th, and it's going to be PS5 and PS5 Pro supported with variable refresh rate and stuff like that. New content, including photo mode updates, a permadeath mode, and a horde mode that I think is pretty cool. That's something I definitely think works for this game. But I found myself immediately going, oh, shit. I want to play that with friends. If only they made a sequel where I could do that. But anyway, yeah, Days Gone Remastered is dropping April 25th. So good. Give that game a new lease on life. I think it deserves it at this point. Also, something out of left field, something that at least is trying to think a little bit differently. It's a new thing from Pixel Junk. They put a lot of creative projects out in the past, but this is very different. This is called Dreams of Another. It's apparently coming this year, 2025, and it is kind of like a weird third-person shooter, but you're not shooting to like destroy or kill or murder. You're shooting to create, and it's kind of this like ethereal, dreamy thing. Apparently, it's going to take advantage of cloud rendering to like help with all the voxel-based chaos that is going on here, or pixel. I don't know. I think this is definitely really interesting. The trailer itself isn't really too exciting, but hearing the developer after kind of talk about the concept, while still vague, just sounds interesting. I love somebody taking a third-person shooter, a genre I really love, and trying to rethink it, reshape it a little bit. We need innovation, we need creativity, so I will try anything like this, honestly. We also got a new look at The Midnight Walk. This had been previously revealed, but it's essentially a game made out of clay, like clay animation in a lot of ways, something we haven't seen in a long time. I remember the Neverhood games doing that back in the day on like PS1, sort of, but this looks astounding. This looks incredible. I love the ideas here. Their influences, they're definitely wearing them on their sleeve with some of the character designs. You can see that one character they show right at the start looks like the mayor from Nightmare Before Christmas, but still, like some of the enemy designs and some of the environments and just the visuals, absolutely wild and unlike anything I've seen really in a video game, which gives me hope. Interestingly enough, though, it's a first-person game. It's like kind of a first-person shooter. Bold. I didn't expect that. But the trailer kind of devolves to a character with a gun shooting a monster. Obviously it's a very familiar play style. I just didn't expect a quirky game like this to have that type of thing. It kind of reminds me of Scorn, where it has all these incredible visual ideas and visual design, and then it's kind of just a game where you're a person with a gun. I'm hoping Midnight Walk has a little bit more to it, but either way, like that's just me getting like a little weird. Honestly, this looks cool as hell, and I'm all in for it. Borderlands 4, they showed some gameplay, and it looked pretty good. I'm not like a diehard Borderlands person. I played 2 a lot. That was really my big one. And at this point, I don't even know what I want from the series anymore. I'm not necessarily dying for one, but the gameplay here looked pretty cool. Interestingly enough, it's got a release date. So it's getting like a whole separate State of Play. Like they're really partnering with Sony for this. A whole State of Play that's going to show off more gameplay and details. But we know the release date. We know the game is coming September 23rd. They showed off another trailer for Split Fiction. This is coming out next month. This is from the Haze Light, the people behind It Takes Two and A Way Out and stuff like that. I've talked about this ad nauseum at this point. I'm very excited for this. I really, really enjoy their games, and this trailer is insane. Also, we got a look at Metal Gear Solid Delta. This trailer technically came out last week separately. There was like a whole leak, a whole thing. I've talked about it on Game Ranks, but this is a good trailer. I think it's like a little weird and cheesy and stilted, but like the way they kind of use dialogue to distill the very complicated game story down to a very simple thing. What Big Boss's mission is here is really cool, but also it's just the music. I'm happy that a mainstream audience that maybe has not seen Metal Gear Solid 3 got to watch a state of play and hear the it's just like, I don't know, I'm totally biased. That's like some of the most incredible music ever composed ever. And probably one of the better Metal Gear songs. So I just like hearing it blasting on a state of play in 2025. I don't know if Konami's going to screw this one up, but it's a good trailer, and I'm hoping for the best. I'm going to continue to be annoying about Metal Gear because it's my whole life and my identity. And speaking of Konami, they publish smaller titles. They have done this in the past. They did kind of like a shmup game, shoot 'em up game not too long ago. Now they're doing Darwin's Paradox. This is a platformer 2D adventure. Very much the thing I like, those 2D games where you walk from left to right, but the art is beautiful and the adventure is incredible. Like, Limbo, Inside, Little Nightmares. This looks kind of like that, except less creepy, and you're an octopus. All right, cool. This is 2025. Also, Warriors Abyss. This is Koei Tecmo's new Dynasty Warriors spin-off thing. It's a roguelite Dynasty Warriors. And I said, okay, cool. And then they showed the gameplay, and it's not just a roguelite. It's like literally like that Hades style kind of top-down gameplay. I was like, okay, I didn't think they had to shift to that. I actually thought the roguelite elements could have translated well to just how Dynasty Warriors plays. And, more recently with Origins, they're kind of like getting their flow back. But hey, either way, this is interesting, and it's out now. Also, they finally showed off more Lost Soul Aside. I've been following this game since it was first revealed. It was like one guy working on it. Now it's like a big initiative, like with PlayStation seemingly funding some of it. And it looks over the top and crazy. At first, it kind of looked like very much like a Final Fantasy Devil May Cry inspired thing, but it's really blossoming into its own thing. What I took away from this is like crazy combat, but also like cool guy simulator. You just seem like a cool guy, and you can like fly and do crazy like running on the air and over the top combat shit. I don't know, it just seems really interesting. It always has seemed interesting, and it's probably going to be really hard, you can tell. Hey, now before we keep going, just a quick word from the sponsor of today's video, Factor. If you're new around here, Factor has been backing this channel for a while now because they deliver fresh, never frozen, dietitian approved meals right to your doorstep. It's absolutely seamless, great stuff. They've been feeding me good, but it's really important when you got stuff going on in your life. Maybe you're still catching up from 2024, or you're working to build up your 2025. Me personally, February is a very busy gaming season, so not having to worry about groceries, like shopping for groceries or meal prep or anything like that has really come in clutch because I don't have to think about anything, but Factor provides delicious lunches that are heated up in the microwave in a couple minutes and you're good to go. For example, today I am eating green chili queso and chicken thigh pasta, but they have a ton of different options and varieties for every type of diet, every type of person, and they have a bunch of cool, fun add-ons. Specifically, I've really been enjoying juices on the go. I can just grab one of these and I'm down. Factor is absolutely flexible with their options, and it's just a really good go-to solution, so you don't have to worry about feeding yourself. It's just there. You got a stocked fridge. So if you want to check it out, you can head to factor75.com or click the link in the description down below. And when you're there, use code 50OnJake to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. Again, that's factor75.com and use code 50OnJake when you're there for 50% off plus free shipping of your first Factor box. Big thanks to them for sponsoring this video. I'm gonna go eat and then I'll be right back. Also, a whole new I didn't expect this because this was just revealed and it seems a way off. Onimusha Way of the Sword. We know this is coming in 2026. I've been excited for this one since it was announced because I didn't expect it. I didn't expect Onimusha to come back. I really love the original game. This is not Samanosuke, which is something I couldn't tell from the original trailer, but it seems like it's like a new character. If you will excuse me, I haven't like replayed the games since they came out, other than just replaying the HD remaster of the first game. But yeah, what they showed in this trailer here was a little bit of gameplay, and Yeah, hell yeah. The animations look incredible, but also the environment, using the environment in combat cleverly, getting like hitting a piece of fabric and it going over an enemy and him getting confused and swinging at other enemies, the main character knocking over a table and using it as cover, like seemingly more about positioning and less about just tight parrying and blocking and stuff like that. I don't know. Either way, it's probably going to be really hard, but I just like the way that environmental combat stuff went down. And the fact that they highlighted it and emphasized it means that I hope that it's like a big part of the gameplay and maybe encourages some creativity and some flexibility. Also, a new trailer for Hell Is Us. I talked about this one a while back on Game Ranks. This is kind of like a sci-fi, kind of Death Stranding-y style Souls-like game. So you're like a sci-fi guy, not a knight in shining armor or anything like that. And I think that's a cool concept. A lot of studio veterans behind this game, and now we got to look at the story. This is like more of a whole story trailer. It seems like the main character is voiced by Elias Tefexis, the voice actor from Deus Ex, Adam Jensen. I never asked for this. That guy. He's great. So that's cool. This is definitely on my radar. It seems like it's coming sooner, and it's probably going to be really hard. Also, very cool to see finally Lies of P getting that full post-launch DLC. It's been quite some time, but this is Lies of P Overture. This is coming summer 2025, and it looks incredible. I clearly could tell like new special attacks, a bow, possibly new arm-based attacks, but holy shit, this just looked really cool. I really enjoyed Lies of P. The vibes here in the snow and the new clothing types and stuff, the bosses. It's like, I don't want to overuse, like people overuse the word vibes, but like the vibes of this is good. It's really hitting for me. It's literally snowing outside right now, so it just works. Also, it's probably definitely going to be really hard, so there's that. This other one announced, I didn't expect. This was kind of like their grand finale. This is a first-party game. This is really like they saved their one big first-party thing for last. This is called Saros. This is a new single-player IP building off of Returnal. Yes, it's from Housemark, the people behind Returnal. It seems like they're sticking with what really worked with Returnal, taking their gameplay and translating it to a third-person, brutal kind of shoot-'em-up shooter roguelike thing. This seems like a new world, new story, new character. I'm going to be totally honest, like my brain is so broken. When I was watching this trailer, my internet kind of like took a shit and the quality dipped down to like 240p, 360p or whatever like that. And the blurry guy, and like it's like a blurry guy in a long coat with a mustache, and he's talking in a British accent and he's very tough. I was like, holy shit, is this the Order 1886? Is that Sir Galahad? Obviously, then it quickly rendered up to 1080p, and I was like, oh, I was way off. It's that actor guy from Stuff. But hey, this is really cool. I'm happy for Returnal fans, Housemark fans. This game's definitely probably going to be hard. Oh, but one thing I didn't expect to really blow me away, but it's the new game from the people behind like The Quarry, stuff like that, the Dark Pictures anthology. This is a new game called Directive 8020. This was previously announced, but this is billed as still a Dark Pictures game. Like, I guess that's what they're just going with now. But this looks incredibly different. This is releasing in October. This just looks like good sci-fi. Like, I like sci-fi horror. I like Event Horizon as much as the next guy, Dead Space. And this shit just looks good. Like, really good. Obviously, it's a flashy trailer, so you can't tell if it's very stilted, like their games still always kind of tend to be, despite the high-quality sheen of the visuals. But I watched it almost like a movie trailer. Like, I was very interested to just see what's going on, see what's happening in the story, and what's up with these characters. So good job, mission accomplished there. But also, there's this game, Mind's Eye, that was announced. This is coming summer 2025, and this is from Leslie Benzies and some people, some former Rockstar North people who have been working on shit for a long time. This is the studio Build a Rocket Boy, and it looks like it's being published by a publishing venture with IO Interactive. The people behind the Hitman series and stuff like that. And this is like just a straight up third-person action-adventure game. Can't tell if it's like open world, but there's like driving, third-person shooting. It looks very, very flashy, but it looks like it could be kind of cool as hell. Like I said, I like a regular old-fashioned video game, a third-person action-adventure spectacle. And this, for me, looks like it's going to check a lot of those boxes. I have a lot of questions, though, because this is from Build a Rocket Boy and their whole everything game that they were working on, that for a while seemed like some weird competitor to GTA. Then it seemed kind of like a Fortnite competitor. Then now it's kind of more of like a creative platform that games are going to exist in it. Then it kind of felt like an NFT game for a minute. But in all the marketing and teasing for Everywhere, right, they did show kind of like a fun-sided game, like a fantasy thing, and then they showed a real-world gritty action sci-fi shooter. And that's very much what this is. Considering when they first showed that, they highlighted this actor. It's a real-world actor. He played Lincoln Clay in Mafia 3. They showed him there. He looked different, but now he's in this game, playing the main character. So I'm curious to see how this whole Everywhere thing is going to go. Is this game going to debut on PlayStation and PC and then kind of be the lead in to all the Everywhere stuff? Did they scrap all that bullshit? I don't know for sure, but I just think at its core base level boiled down, this does look like a pretty sweet game. Okay, so I think that about covers everything I personally found interesting from this state of play. So I want to hear from you guys. Yes, I know it wasn't like a big crazy blowout thing. They didn't show off a new first party thing or like a Wolverine thing or all those leaks and rumors like about a Bloodborne, like Bloodborne being released for PS5 or like a God of War remake, any crazy shit like that. This was very much just third party and a couple of first party things. Whatever. I do want to know what you think. If any of these games really, struck your eye, if you got a top 5 or anything like that, let me know. Let me know your choices or anything like that. But thank you for listening to me yap about this stuff. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, Digimon fans, I'm happy for you guys. I'm glad you're getting a new Digimon story. That trailer was actually very hype. I wish I was a Digimon person. But anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, thanks for watching. If you like what I'm trying to do here, I'm just talking about stuff I like, stuff I just find interesting. Thank you. Clicking the like button helps me. But that's it. I'm Jake Baldino. Subscribe because video games, and pizza's on me.